Hello YouTube, this is Cover 2 Credits, and we are your hosts. I am Kevin.
I'm Justin.
And today we are going to be talking about this graphic novel thing called Joker.
It's by Brian Azzarello, and the art's Lee Bermejo. But I don't know how to think about this either. This is this is one of the first graphic novels you really get your hands on, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really do graphic novels that much.
Which is I'm trying to change.
The series made me read this one.
Well, as much as he reads, and I'd like to see what he thinks of some of these. I've started in the last 6 months to a year enjoying a lot of graphic novels. I read comics when I was younger, and a lot of these are just condensed or a whole stream of the comics combined into one hardback or soft paperback book. This, however, is a one-off that goes just like the cover states, follows the Joker. Now, it is a little different because the way they do it is they follow a henchman, if you will, a lackey, who volunteers to pick up the Joker from Arkham Asylum. The whole book, people are asking the Joker, "How'd you get out? How'd you get out?" He never says that. But they keep asking. Some people reference, they said you were getting out. How'd you get out? It never says. So that I don't know what the reason they never said was, but they don't. But it's interesting to see a story that is obviously a Batman story that only involves Batman for maybe a page.
Yeah.
The fear of him is something that you notice in the way the Joker talks and the way the Joker acts. He references someone that he references someone that that must be the Batman, but he never says that. I don't know if you caught that or not. Like he references, I'm not afraid of this guy, but I'm afraid of him. And you're like, him? Like, oh, it must be okay. What did you think? Just like you said, you looked through some of this.
Like I said, it was interesting to see the story from the side of not a superhero or a supervillain, but just Joe Schmo henchman.
It's in the middle.
And how he's getting, pulled along into all these, crazier and crazier and crazier things. The events nuts that led up to that. And, you see all of these main characters, like you see Croc and you see Penguin and you see Riddler, but you see it all from the other side, and as from this just baffled dude is going through all of it, and Harley Quinn's there, and all the rest, and it's just, and it is, like I said, it's really interesting, and the art is really, really good.
As we talk about this, hopefully you'll be seeing different pieces of this art. I've never seen anybody in comics do faces like Lee did. Whether it's to make them look not human by the way as detailed as they are, or making them look so human that they're relatable, even though they are kind of the monsters of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, even the cover, just the cover by itself, as you can see, there's a lot of focus in the face, I thought, in this story.
Mm-hmm. But
some of the stuff that goes on is just insane. Whether it's like, and I'll spoil some of this, but you can read it and it's not really spoiling any of it. But a guy getting skinned from the neck down,
mm-hmm.
and then pushed out onto a stage, and it just weird things. But yeah, it is interesting. There are some stories that are based from the villain's side. I know some of the New 52 even, they swapped the hero and the villain, for runs. They had stories that followed Lex Luthor instead of following Superman. They did that for a while, so that was something different. But this is definitely very visceral because it's you're following the crazy around, and as the Joe Schmo, he has no say in anything, and he just goes along, and that's the craziest part. You're along for the ride with the craziest person you could follow around, and from the beginning to the end of the whole thing, you don't know what's going to happen, whether you're fighting or friend with somebody, or like he said, you see other villains and their relationships are kind of askew. You don't necessarily know if this is a friend or if this is someone Joker doesn't like. You don't really understand that until some of the conversations begin. But I enjoyed it a lot, and like Batman's my favorite character, DC especially, but definitely one of my favorite overall. I like reading a lot of that, and I try to keep up with that stuff. There are a few other graphic novels that Azzarello's done that I want to try to get into reading more and see how if his style kind of is consistent with this. If it's kind of that, kind of really getting in depth into the not so much the outer linings of everything, but very intricate, like the conversations between the villains and that kind of thing. So that's something that interests me. So overall, what did you think? This is, like you said, your first one.
I'm not sure this was a great starting point.
It's different. It's very different.
But like I said, it was, I thought, pretty high quality stuff. Never having any like basis for comparison. I really don't know what I would rate it. Maybe like a 7 or 8.
I mean,
it's good, but like I said, I don't know enough about it to be able to judge quality. But it was enjoyable. And like I said, the art is excellent and the story was solid. But yeah, like I said, it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you like Batman, especially, to look at this. To look into getting this. I got it off of Barnes and Noble. It was not very expensive, maybe $20 for a hardback book, and I definitely would recommend it, especially if somebody who's read some graphic novels or something like that before. Definitely look into this. It's cool to see this from the other side of the coin, if you will, and you do see Two-Face, so that makes sense. So, I'd recommend I'd rate it probably around a 7 or an 8. I mean, it takes a lot to get a 10 out of anything, whether it's a book or movie or anything. You got to be pretty spot on. So this is definitely a recommendation from us, and tell us if you've read this. If not, tell us if you end up reading this. Let us know if there's any other graphic novels you'd like us to read and review. I'm kind of up for anything, not just Batman. I kind of trying to dabble in as much as I can. And Kevin reads a lot of other things, so if there's anything book-wise, let us know. We'd enjoy to hear the feedback and kind of take it down a different rabbit hole, if you will. Well, subscribe, share, if you will, and
thanks for staying till after the credits.